Hello everybody, Jeff, Happy Texas Homestead,
Hello.
Wendy,
Making a mess.
and Wendy. So today is kind of an important day on our Happy Texas Homestead. Today we are going to process chickens for the very first time. So this is not going to be a how-to, because we don't know how to. We've watched a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of the people we follow. They seem to have it figured out, so we're going to take a little bit of what everyone does and make it ours. So this won't be a whole long video of doing 25 chickens, but we'll probably take you through to show, I don't know, a few of them, a couple of them. And yeah, so now we've got everything mostly set up. Right there is the termination of life station. We sprayed the bottom of the cones with some PAM cooking oil to help keep the blood from sticking. So we hear 2 buckets with water in them to help with the cleanup. This is they come out of the cones. They're going to go into this little dipping bath because they're so nasty dirty. Then they're going to go into the scalding pot. I'm waiting for that to heat up. And they'll go over here into the plucker. And then from here, after all the feathers are removed, they'll go over there to the processing table. This is where they'll get their guts pulled out, and obviously not like this at an angle because we're still setting up.
Putting some risers because this is the table we could afford. So I'm putting some risers so it's a little higher for upper back.
Yeah. And then after they're completely gutted, they'll go into this bath for 2 minutes. That's water, and mostly water and a little bit of vinegar.
I need water.
That'll help tenderize the meat.
I need more water.
Then they'll go over there into the ice bath. They'll be in there for no less than 10 minutes. And that just helps get all the rest of the blood out. And
Some people call it a pink bath.
right, pink bath. It helps also tenderize. And then over there, that's going to be their final resting place till they get bagged. So that's nothing but ice in that one. That one's going to be ice and water. Just water and vinegar. So stay tuned. So the first chickens their lives have been terminated. We both prayed before we did this. This is something we don't take for granted. This is meat that's going to go in our freezer. These chickens had a good life. We know how they were raised. We know what they were fed. And we're eternally grateful for the meat they're going to provide for us. So here in a minute, we're going to start the process. In here, over here, there, and then y'all know the process.
Turn him. Turn. There you go.
Ooh, they're dirty.
Yeah. Okay. It didn't help a whole lot, but. Alright. Oh, no, go get some.
Well, I guess our water wasn't hot enough. Because none of them are coming out. Put him back in that blue bucket for the time being. The water ain't hot enough. So the water needs to be between 145 and 150, and I thought at 140 would be okay, but apparently not. How did Boomer escape?
Is he out again?
Yeah.
How did he jump it?
All right, in the flocker he's going.
Plucker.
Mostly pluck.
Oh yeah.
Not bad for the first try. Over here,
Over here
process table.
to here.
So here's the editing. Here's the gutting station. That's Wendy's job. So it's not necessarily the best way to do it. This is just what we found has been working so far.
We've only done a couple,
We've
but
barely got into this project.
this works a little easier. It's Lola, our neighbor. When they tell you, you watch the videos and they tell you to scoop it in there against the rib cage, know that the rib cage is this way on the chicken. So you gotta scoop to the side. I really thought they were in there this way.
Good morning. It's day 2, chicken processing. So we got them all processed yesterday. Today we're gonna bag them up, or this morning we're gonna bag them up, put them in the freezer. So we'll walk you through one of them, and it'll be that times 25. So hope you enjoy. So we've had them on ice all night long, and they should be good and cold. And then we'll take them out of there. We'll put them in these bags, zip tie it over to the pot. It'll shrink wrap up against the chicken, and then weighed, labeled, and to the freezer they go.
I barely fit them in there.
So you squeeze all the air out of it as much as you can. Give it a good twist.
And then we're gonna zip tie.
Put a zip tie on. Hopefully our hands work today. As tight as I can get it.
Okay.
Take the knife.
Where are you poking?
He poked it. He poked it like right here.
Okay, by the leg. Whew, that's
A
good.
little slit. That'll let the remaining air out. Grab that.
Okay. And then we're going over here.
Where's the wood spoon?
I'll get it.
Water temp is about almost 200, so when you turn it down a little bit, needs to be 185, but we're there. Keep it down in there. All the air's coming out.
I'd say about 5 seconds. You just dunk it a couple times. If we did it right. And look at it.
It's on there pretty tight. And then over to the weigh station.
This is pretty average size, so we're gonna go ahead and tell you all.
5 pounds, 10 ounces.
5 pounds, 10 ounces. I thought they'd be bigger.
Okay, label lady.
Okay.
So there they are. There they are, excuse me. Bagged up. Ready to go in the freezer. We're gonna get an average weight here in just a little bit. And we'll let y'all know.
Hi, guys.
I already know what's gonna happen. Move.
It's gonna be a big deal. It's a big deal, Mom and
So-
Daddy are out here.
After processing all the chickens, bagging them up, we've learned some things.
Yes.
Number one,
Spray, believe it or not, spray everything with cooking spray that you're gonna have blood on.
that's the number one thing you
It's
learned.
the number one thing I learned for cleanup. It's very important.
Yeah, it helps keep the blood from sticking because it sticks and dries and
And not just the inside of what you're using. The
Everything.
outside too.
spray everything.
Spray everything.
When in doubt, spray it. So the number one thing I learned, or it's a two-part, A and B. One, you don't want to be processing chickens in the middle of July.
No.
It was hot. It's a process that attracts a lot of flies. It's just not a good time. It wasn't a good time. We didn't have a good time doing that.
The start was fine, but by the noontime it was too hot.
It was
We had to break it up.
a challenge. So the other thing that I learned that is extremely important is sharp knives. Sharp knives would make it easier, and good knives. Throughout the process, I had to sharpen knives a lot on several occasions.
About every 2 chickens were
We had to make it as humanely as possible when we were cutting throats, and in order to do that, you need a sharp knife. And then with processing, you need a pretty sharp knife to get through the skin and whatnot.
I have to tell you that I'm the cheap one in the family, and you know, we can make do. But on your knives, you really do need to get a good set of boning knives, something especially for processing, not just your
Kitchen knives.
kitchen paring knife, extremely sharp knives.
The other thing that I think was
Hey, Dan.
pretty important was it was difficult to keep the temperature at the 140, between 145 and 150 for the scalding, because the wind blows here all the time.
As
And
you
the
can tell.
and the wind would blow out the fire on the burner. I'd have to relight it, warm it back up, and it's kind of critical to keep that temperature right where you need it, because when you put them in that plucker, there were occasions where I hadn't loosened the feathers good enough, so I had to re-scald. Then you're running the risk of cooking the chicken at that point.
Right.
So, but then again, you don't want it too hot, and we experienced that as well, because when you put them in the plucker, it'll beat them to death. It'll beat the skin off and everything else. So
Daisy.
we learned a lot. It was an interesting process. I wouldn't say it was fun, but it was interesting.
Get out of there.
And that's it. Get out of there, Daisy.
Get out of there.
Got some more leather. Yeah. We're pretty much done, I think.
Well, there was other stuff.
I don't know. What else did you learn?
Your temperature, knives, spraying. What else? What else did
I don't know. Those were the big
Oh,
ones
not
for
as
me.
long.
Oh, the birds were pretty
Yeah.
big.
They were too big. I mean, we did
We
it
went
in 8
8
weeks.
Well, it was 8
8 and a
weeks
half.
and 3 or 4 days, and we probably could have processed it 7 weeks.
Which brings us to, we wanted to tell y'all the total.
So total weight was 153.66. The average weight of each bird was 6.14 pounds. So not
Which-
bad. Pretty
yes.
good, I think.
And we had some that were struggled to get in their bags. Boomer just got scared or something. But for the most part, you don't want them bigger.
No.
It was too hard when you're processing.
So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. That helps us out a lot. It also helps you know that new videos are coming out with a notification. And we appreciate y'all. Have a good day. God bless.
God bless. Here's my Boomer boy. With my big fat knees.
That's in there too.
I don't even care. I don't even care.